Your car costs more than ever. Longer loans, subscription fees, software-locked features. You thought the danger was the monthly payment. It wasn't. Your car may already be reporting every trip you take straight to your insurance company. Sticker shock hits before the engine even turns over. The average price of a new car has jumped from $30,000 a decade ago to nearly $38,000 today. For most drivers, that means stretching payments across 6, sometimes even 7 years. 1 out of every 4 loans now runs 72 months or longer. But the pain doesn't stop at the monthly bill. More features are locked behind paywalls. Want heated seats in winter? That might be a monthly subscription. Need adaptive cruise control? The hardware is already in the car, but the software stays off until you pay. Even basic functions that once came standard can now disappear unless you keep up with the fees. Every year, the cost of just owning a car climbs higher. Not because of gas or repairs, but because the car itself is designed to keep charging you. For many, it feels less like ownership and more like renting a bundle of features that can vanish at any time. General Motors calls it Smart Driver. On the surface, it sounds like a bonus, feedback on your driving, digital badges for safe habits, maybe even a discount down the line. But behind the dashboard, Smart Driver is less a coach and more a sensor array. Every trip becomes a data harvest. The system records GPS coordinates, speed every second, hard braking events, sudden accelerations, and trip start and stop times. It logs how fast you take corners, whether you slam the brakes, and how often you drive at night. Even seatbelt use and rapid lane changes can be flagged. All of it is tied to your car's VIN, linking each data point to a specific owner and vehicle. The sensors don't just wake up for emergencies, they run continuously, capturing a full map of your driving style. The result isn't just a driving score. It's a behavioral profile built from raw telemetry and stored far beyond the car itself. What started as a promise of safety and rewards is in reality a rolling record of everywhere you go and how you get there. The story doesn't end when the car logs your hard brakes or late-night drives. Those raw signals, speed, GPS pins, every sharp turn, don't just sit on a server at General Motors. They move. First, the data is packaged and sent to outside firms, consumer reporting agencies like LexisNexis and Verisk. These aren't just data warehouses. They're the middlemen who turn driving behavior into a product ready for sale. Insurance companies line up to buy access, hungry for any edge in pricing risk. A single trip with a few hard stops or late-night runs can land in a file that insurers use to set your premium or even deny you coverage altogether. Reuters traced this exact chain. Telematics data collected by OnStar flowed to data brokers, then straight into the hands of insurance underwriters. Drivers have reported finding pages of driving events, dates, times, locations, buried in their consumer files with no warning from the dealership or the app. The result is a financial risk that follows you, invisible but real, every time you get behind the wheel. For thousands of GM owners, the betrayal didn't come as a data breach or a headline. It arrived as a quiet default, an app toggle already switched on, a feature called Smart Driver, auto-enrolled at purchase, sometimes without a single clear warning. The sign-up screens buried the real story behind cheerful badges and vague privacy links. On Reddit, the outrage is raw. One driver posted, "I never agreed to let my car spy on me. I found out months later my driving was being tracked and sent off to who knows where." Another called it a trap you don't see until your insurance rates jump. Across forums, owners described the same shock, digging through settings, discovering years of trip data logged and shared, and realizing the consent they thought they gave was never real consent at all. For many, it feels less like a tech upgrade and more like a trick played by their own dashboard. On January 14, 2026, the Federal Trade Commission finalized its order against General Motors and OnStar. After months of investigation, the agency accused GM of collecting and selling precise geolocation and driving behavior data from millions of vehicles without real informed consent. The order hits hard. For 5 years, GM is banned from disclosing any covered geolocation or driver behavior data to consumer reporting agencies. No more quiet handoff of trip logs or hard brake events to data brokers and insurers. The Federal Trade Commission's language is blunt. GM must now get affirmative consent before collecting, using, or sharing connected vehicle data. Smart Driver is gone, shut down in response. GM is not admitting fault, but the ban stands. For drivers, this is more than a slap on the wrist. It is a rare moment when the system is forced to draw a line, even if only for 5 years. The lesson is clear. The car you paid for should not be reporting on you unless you say yes, loud and clear. Control starts in your hands. Start by digging into your car's app or dashboard settings and look for any telematics or smart driver options. Switch off data sharing wherever possible. Don't trust default toggles or friendly badges. Hunt down every consent box and revoke permission you never meant to give. Next, request your driver data file from any reporting agency named in your paperwork or dealer emails. Scan for hidden trip logs or behavioral scores tied to your name. If you spot anything, demand deletion and keep an eye on your credit reports for insurance-related entries. Finally, before buying or leasing your next vehicle, research which brands let you disable connected features entirely. Ownership should mean control, not just of the car, but of every bit of data it tries to send out. Today, your driving isn't just tracked, it's scored, traded, and sold. The real risk isn't losing control of your car, it's losing control of yourself. What's your next move?